Ronzo is a computer game designer. He has designed the characters for Dr. Dre's Pills speakers, which was a really successful advertising campaign, and he's done a lot of the graffiti works around Shoreditch that actually make my daily life really much more pleasant, so thanks. So here we go.
Sweet. Hello everybody, my name is Ronzo, and thank you very much for the lovely introduction. Thanks everybody for coming here. It's a papercraft video game, so I've been doing character designs and graffiti things and all sort of stuff, and got approached by a game maker, or like a guy who wanted to make a video game out of this. And I got really, I'm also passionate about building stuff by hands, and maybe a little bit like the Warhammer dudes, but I obviously out of paper. I like this, so I thought, oh, maybe let's make an entire video game out of paper. And I started making up these little characters. There was like some sort of brief that the guy wanted, like an underwater game. So where things is like underwater, you wanted a bit of an environmental message, or save the planet, sort of like for kids. So it's really like super friendly and not so violent. So I just made this little story that the parents, you like a little shark, and then they get sucked up into this evil fisherman boat and made into the shark fin soup, or some sort of like, obviously all your friends get killed, your family, and then you get really angry as the little fish and try to revenge your parents and destroy the nuclear power stations and everything on the way to sort of free the oceans, basically, sort of from the humankind. That was a bit the story. Then the idea was everything is made out of paper. There's going to be loads of slides now with me making all sort of like paper models. And the idea was a little bit that like you can also, apart from the computer game, make your own fish and play it again a little bit, maybe like that Warhammer thing, that you just be in your house and can play it by yourself, but you can also play it on the computer. So you give it a little bit like, I don't know, just some sort of like friendly DIY touch, and maybe that is just a little bit more than just a digital experience. It could be just like kind of, just quite like a nice little crafty fun for the family or some sort. That was sort of like the idea. And that bit was like, went really well, and was super fun. So we built all like submarines and all the little rocks and the whole scenario and everything. But we didn't really know how to make it into like a video game, or basically I didn't know. The guy I was working with, they're like one of the tech guys, and they were also a bit worried like how that translate, because I was making like this board sort of like games. I built like the sets, and then like with my friends, and then we had like the fish on little sort of like fishing wire like rods, and they were like fighting each other, and I tried to film it and made it into some sort of like make sense, but and this was going on forever, and obviously you don't have so much time to develop these ideas, or at some point then the people you work with, they say, oh, this is not going anywhere. We'd like some meetings with the with Sony, like PlayStation's people, and there was just like, oh, this is not really playable, or maybe we get shut down or something. So so then it went into the computer. From here on, I was just a little bit more art directing, or looking after that the style is right, or looks a little bit like paper. But I couldn't really do too much from that point onwards. I went to like a proper like video game developer studio, which sort of like, I guess was necessary. This is like kind of what they then came up with from my little paper craft videos and sets, and which obviously I was really happy with. It's just like a difficult thing to imagine it when you start making it physically, how it then becomes like digital. So it is, I don't know, I'm pretty like happy with it. It's quite like a nice, it came out really well. It's just only, always there is some sort of like compromise with the live render times and loading times, and the graphic can't be too heavy, and like blah blah blah, sort of like kind of a little bit boring technical stuff. But in the end we got it all done, and you just a little fish, like in the story, swim around collecting stuff, revenging your parents, and killing all the humans you see. So where she gives you like powers, and you can obviously like kind of get a good the rating. You can fly out of the water. I don't know if you ever seen or played Echo the Dolphin. That was like a really famous like old school game, and that was a little bit like the inspiration that you like Echo the Dolphin, but you like the little paper shark, and you swim around the world and have like different. So this is some sort of a little bit like. That was like a bit like North American, like New York sort of environment, and this is like a little bit like maybe there you're in the Arctic or swim around like Norway, so they all have their little mini characteristics and everything, which was also, I don't know, just a little bit, looks a little bit different from what I done. So this is like the bigger ones afterwards where we built to promote the game and run around with them a little bit to make like some promo videos and show to the people on events when we launched it and stuff, which was quite good. Building those. This is more the stuff I enjoy doing it rather than like the computer stuff, like taking them on the tube to some little game show and stuff like that. So that was cool, and I think from then on it's just like a little bit like stuck in the console and PC Mac sort of like game world. So that's what I'm launching hopefully the end of the summer. We just try to launch a little appeal with the people to try to help us getting onto mobile device, because nobody can play it on mobile yet. And then hopefully that will be like the next step where we can try to save the shark to come onto the onto mobile rather than just being stuck in PlayStation and PC. And I think that's pretty much it from the project. Thank you very much.
What made you come up with the sharks to start with?
That was sort of like it was a little bit of a collaboration between like my mate who's like the techie, like the developer guy, and he obviously loved this old school sort of like classic, like Echo the Dolphin, jump out of the water, and he thought that would be like amazing and people remember this and this is like gonna be groundbreaking, but obviously nobody knows Echo the Dolphin, maybe apart from him. And I wanted to do a little bit more of a graffiti, like street art type like game with my characters, but then sort of, I don't know, because it was in the end of the day like the baby where he asked me to help him making the characters, and then I thought just maybe go with it and come up with like some sort of like funky underwater worlds, I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, please.
Have you thought about applications for like a board game? Because you bridging that weird world between craft and kind of and board games where they could build the pieces and then.
Yeah, I mean that would be amazing. It's just all like a little bit like logistics, just to get something approved and get it onto PlayStation is like an absolute nightmare if you're like indie developer, if you work for, because obviously maybe I did mention it's not like we like a company that paid us to do, so we do everything and then we just try to pitch it to like a Sony, like, oh, do you let us on the download store, like blah blah blah. And normally like all the game companies, they got like a sales team, a PR team, blah blah blah. They just try to work out all the deals. But while we were making all this, we still like try to email everybody and invite them to our little workshop to show them what we're doing. And even just to just get it on one platform, it's just like for one or two people, like an amazing, like, I don't know, like head fuck basically.
Yeah.
And so that's why if we could have meet also like a board game guy or do like a Kickstarter parallel to the board game, if we can raise some funds and stuff. I mean, I think it would be amazing too, because the character's really good. We got like a little system as well where you can put them together without glue, so you can just like cut them out or push them out, and then they sort of fold themselves, but they just like link into each other, you know, some. And so that's that's the kind of little bit like I'm interested in the as you said, maybe bringing stuff together, not only in the computer or maybe stuff you can do in, I don't know, on your kitchen table, but then also play it afterwards on your phone or whatever. So I like the idea, yeah. Yeah, please.
I do know Echo the Dolphin.
Oh yes, one is here.
But did you ever think that you'd like make a game like when you started out?
No, it's just like it's just random as well. Like you never know. This is the same with this Dr. Dre job to make his characters. It's all like you always draw and I don't know, maybe whatever, like do a little screen print or like some animated GIF animation with your drawings, or do like a graffiti, and then always like maybe like hoping, oh, maybe somebody likes this, or like kind of I get invited to like an exhibition to be part of like some bit, or like or sell like a painting of that, because you never know, isn't it, what's gonna happen next. And then obviously if people come to you, and I would have thought like making computer games is just too hard work. I think if you said, oh, I want to make a computer game, to me it's not that I'm lazy, but I was just like already, this sounds like incredibly like long and like, you know. So that's, but then when my mates came and said, oh, like, we can do this, like it's going to be amazing, blah, blah, blah. And that's how I got a little bit into it. And then now I really like it, and I met like good people there, and then really nice developers as well, who are like kind of hungry for like good ideas. So that's why I'm always thinking, oh, if you it's also like a nice sort of like business to be in, isn't it? I think for Illustrator, or just like everybody who's like into funky characters and cartoons and all this stuff, I love. So there's like there's a lot of good things in video games for that.
Mine was the same question. Have you
Was
ever
it?
done anything like that
Yeah.
before? It sounds like you just kind of go from one random thing to another, but it's awesome that you know, it's for a lot.
Yeah, it's just like being lucky as well, a little bit, meeting the right people in the right time, or somebody. I had like an exhibition on Brick Lane, and this guy came and saw the exhibition, and then like 2 years later he emailed me like, oh, I remember this, like I got this project, this will be perfect for you, blah blah blah, do you want to meet? And then you get like 100 emails like this, and you always like delete it. This is shit, like waste of time. Like, and then for some reason I actually met him and gave him like some scribbles, and then I thought I'd never hear back of him. But then he came back and said, oh, let's do it. It's all like go, go, go. So you never know, isn't it? Like kind of who you're gonna meet, whatever. So it's always like kind of things come out of weird situations, I guess. Sweet. So?
I have a question. How did the Pills collaboration come about?
It's the same, like kind of someone I worked with, or they liked some other bits, and then they asked me if I can make like some drawings for them or some scribbles, and I didn't even knew it was for like Dr. Dre. And then later I was just like kind of, oh, can you do another one? Can you do another one? And then at some point it's like, yeah, like we have to show this all to Dr. Dre now, blah blah blah. And then again, and then I never heard back of them, and I thought, like, surely that is like kind of not needed anymore, or because there's also like really big like other companies, you know, the Artman Animation, you know, the way who made Wallace and Gromit.
Oh yeah.
So they making characters, and there's like loads of like studios in LA, and like who make like Avatar and stuff. They make characters, so then you just think like, oh, like surely they're never gonna use my character.
Yeah, you're like.
And then in the end they come back, oh yeah, they only wanted yours, the other ones got all like killed in the end, and then it's obviously, but this is like all, it doesn't mean like it's not a bad character, but it's just so lucky, isn't it? It's, so many factors can make it, or so that's so far. It's the same with this. I'm just been like really, I guess like really fortunate, really lucky that it comes out in the end, you know. So yeah,
Wonderful.
so good, very good.
So this is available on PlayStation stores?
You can play PlayStation, and then it's it's in that PlayStation Network store, so you can, it's like download the title, so you can't buy the disc or anything, but you can download it there, and then you can you know Steam, yeah, so you can play on Steam, so yeah. So check it out. It's like, or if you email me, I'll give you a promo code, then you can get it for free. But ideally, obviously, if we can get some help for the mobile thing, would be amazing. So I'm just also talking to some people who like the concept and they want to help us and stuff. But it's just like everything is just the logistics and getting it out there and stuff. It's like the hard bit, yeah.
So how can we help get it released on mobile? Just by downloading it?
No, it's just like I'm just making this Kickstarter campaign for Save the Shark, and then I email you, and then you have to tweet about it, tell everyone and stuff. And I wanted to, I already worked a little bit on it. Like, you know, last time when we met, there was another guy who was talking about his Kickstarter campaign like after me, and then it was really annoying because I made like some sort of like little rap song with it. So there's like some sort of rhyme stuff where you can save the shark. And then, but it's not, I couldn't release it. And then he released on that day, like his Kickstarter, which also has like a rap song, and then I was like really like, so I don't want to do it anymore. But I might do it anyway, so it's a bit different, but you know.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I'll email you all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, well done.
When we were doing the bank bailout and everything, he said they were using much better computers.